4 years ago, I had a near-death experience in the middle of the night. This is the story of how my best friend saved my life. At 11:30 p.m., we step foot in the lake. Many signs saying, "Do not swim after dusk."
Like splashing in the water, like, Colin, my legs are cramping, my legs.
In 2017, I volunteered at a church camp to be a camp counselor, basically. That was by far the best summer of my life. Before we move on with the story, I need to introduce you to my friend, Colin. The best way to describe Colin, I believe, would be to say he is a man. I'm not sure if I know anyone more outdoorsy, more prepared, more caring, and knowledgeable. He's exactly the type of person that you would want present when you're drowning in a lake at 11:50 p.m. Colin and I have been friends since we were probably 4 years old. In 2017, Colin and I were on the same team at this church camp, and the bond that we formed was pretty incredibly tight. So to give all of us camp counselors a little break, they purchased for us registration and lodging for a music festival called the Alive Music Festival. If you've never heard of it, think Christian Coachella.
We're all driven out to this camp and this big festival where there's concerts and games and food and, a big lake to swim in, all these crazy floaty devices.
So naturally, my teammates and I were overjoyed at the opportunity to take a break and relax from all of our hard work. Now, usually we were being very closely watched by our adult chaperones, but they were also being overworked just like we were, and were in very much need of relaxation. So did we take advantage of that? Absolutely. Now, there was a lot of us, so there was multiple tents, but the decision to sneak out was made much prior to the 11 p.m. lights out. So at 11:20 p.m., we snuck out of our tents. Now, Atwood Lake might have had many signs posted at the beach saying, "Do not swim after dusk." And maybe we had seen those. But at 11:30 p.m., we stepped foot in the lake. There are these inflatable obstacle courses and slides and stuff out on the lake.
Really quietly swim out to these floaty devices, and we're just like hanging out there and talking and stuff.
At 11:45, an ambitious decision was made to swim out to the farthest inflatable obstacle course on the lake. This inflatable was located at a point in the lake where the depth could have been up to 15 feet deep. 13 high school kids swimming in a lake in the middle of the night is going to be chaotic. Many of our friends were screaming at the slightest touch of a piece of seaweed on their foot, so if there was any real emergency, it would be very, very difficult to differentiate from seaweed. It was at about this time, 11:50 p.m., that I began to feel a sharp pain in my right calf.
And John just starts like splashing in the water. He's like, Colin, my leg.
I would love to tell you the story about how I got bit by a crocodile at 11:50 p.m. in the middle of a lake in pitch black darkness among 13 other people crying wolf. And though that may be the story I would love to tell you, the truthful story is I got a cramp.
Like splashing in the water, he's like, Colin, my legs are cramping, my legs. And he's like, the water is kind of like about here, and he's just like splashing. So I like dive underwater, like grab his leg, and just like plant my feet up against like the mushy like slime of the bottom of the lake. Push my friend up to the top of the water and stretch his leg out, and it's like, who knows when this cramp will let go. So I'm just stretching. Finally it releases and he taps me and just like swim to the top of the water. And he's like, oh man, thank you so much. And so we go in and Go back to the campsite and we're just sitting down talking, and he's like, I think you saved my life tonight.
Now, although I almost died in the story, it still remains one of my favorite memories. So if I had to learn something from it, it would actually be to go out and be adventurous, and to surround yourself with good people like Colin, who will save your life if you're drowning. Alright, this video is sponsored by...
Nice.